everyone, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Tracy and I am a part-time reseller on Poshmark. Thanks for stopping by and checking out one of my videos. Today I have a what's sold video for you that dates all the way back starting the middle of July through the end of July. And the reason I'm doing this what sold now is because I was on vacation and had my Poshmark closet on vacation mode for the month of August. But I wanted to do this one because I have a really good sale, my best sale as a reseller. I've been reselling for 2 years now, and it was my very best sale, and I'm kind of happy about it, so I wanted to share it. First of all, though, I want to take a moment. Those of you that are subscribers and have been with me on this YouTube journey know that I have a special guest once in a while, my beautiful boy Ratchet, my cat. I just wanted to take a moment to let everybody know that he will no longer be making any more appearances because we lost poor Ratchy July 23rd. And I wanted to take some time before I let everybody know that he won't be making any more appearances so that I could get my composure and to upload a bunch of pre-recorded videos that I had for while I was on vacation. He had some appearances in them videos, and I wanted them to all be posted before I made the announcement. But Ratchy was a pretty cool cat, loved by everybody as well. I know everybody loves their pets, and they're the best and they're special, and he was as well, and he'll be surely missed. So, and I think I'll pop up some pictures, some of my favorite pictures of the Ratchy, and so enjoy those. Okay, let's get into this what sold. Like I said, this is from July 16th through the 31st. And I had been doing my what solds for 2-week periods because of summer slowdown, and because my sales were quite, they were down. They weren't bad here. I had some pretty good sales actually. And like I said, I won't have no what solds for the month of August because my closet was in vacation mode. So we'll pick that back up here soon for how my closet did at the beginning of September with being on vacation for 30 days. And just a little bit of a spoiler alert, it's not bad. So, all right, let's get into it. The first thing I sold, I gotta grab my glasses, I'm sorry. My vision is starting to get pretty bad. All right, the first thing I sold were these Birkenstocks. They were navy colored. I received these in a ThredUp box not too long ago. They actually sold the very same day that I listed them. Each item in that box, after what I decided to list and not list, I can't remember how many I total that I listed out of the box. I think I got 17 pairs, and I can't quite remember how many I listed, but I have it listed here that my average cost was around $6 per pair of shoes. And so these sold, like I said, the same day for $62 with my earnings being $49.60. And I can't remember how much I paid total for the box, but I think those and maybe one other pair paid for that throw-up box. It was a very good box. The next thing I sold were these American Eagle flare jeans. I picked these up at a garage sale for $1 in May, and they sold for $28 with my earnings being $22.40. Next is another pair of shoes out of that same thread-up box. These were Michael Kors. They were these red canvas espadrille wedge shoes. They sold the next day after I listed them for $20 with my earnings being $16. My cost of goods was $6. Next is another pair of shoes out of that thread-up box. These were the most interesting in the box. These were by the brand Pleaser. They were 7-inch clear platform high heels. They sold the very next day as well for $25 with my earnings being $20. Next was a New It Tags Draper James black corduroy dress. I picked this up last summer at a garage sale for $4. It sold for $34 with my earnings being $27.20. Next is a Build-A-Bear Taekwondo outfit. It had, I think it was missing a couple of the belts, like 2 of the belts, but it was brand new with tags too. Last summer I had bought a lot of Build-A-Bear clothes in a box, and I went back and checked it out because I thought I was like almost sold out of them, but I seen that I have five lots of outfits left, and I have sold 13 of them. So I've done really well, and I think I paid $10 for that whole box of all of that. But this little Taekwondo outfit sold for $15 with my earnings being $12. Then I sold these vintage unbranded doll dresses. I can't quite remember. I believe they might have even been in this. No. I had bought a Cabbage Patch doll with a bunch of dresses, and these were not Cabbage Patch branded. But I just thought they were kind of cool. But these 2 little dresses sold for $15 with my earnings being $12. Next, you guys might recognize this from one of my previous hauls. This was a Ducks Unlimited special edition from 2014 duck figurine thing. It was so adorable. I paid $2 for it at a garage sale at the end of June. It sold for $29 with my earnings being $23.20. Next is a little panda bear plush by the brand Aurora. I got this back in February at the Goodwill Outlet bins, and my average cost of goods that day was $1. It sold for $10 with my earnings being $7.05. Next, another pair of shoes from that thread-up box. These are the Rothy's, the pink ballet flats. They sold in a week for $29 with my earnings being $23.20. Next is a Columbia lightweight nylon jacket. I purchased these, or I should say I listed these in May of 24. I have it listed, I paid $1 for it, so they must come from a garage sale or a church sale. It sold for $14 with my earnings being $11.05. Next is a New It Tags Adidas tennis dress. I had purchased this off of Whatnot. I can't remember how much I paid for it, but I know it was less than $10. So I would say, I'm thinking I paid more like $7 or $8 for it. And then the shipping, I listed this back in July of 24, and it sold for $42 with my earnings being $33.60. So I probably made, say, $20 on that dress. So that's pretty good. I don't buy off of Whatnot no more because I just don't have very much luck with anything off of Whatnot. Next is a bundle. I accepted an offer. Somebody put these 3 into a bundle and sent me an offer of $45, which I accepted. There was a Torrid koi fish shirt. that I paid $2.50 for, an Ellie pair of white shorts that I paid $1 for, and a really nice Harley Davidson khaki button-up shirt that I paid $1 for. And like I said, I accepted an offer of $45 with my earnings being $36. Next, in March, I went to a church sale and I paid 25 cents for this vintage completed Paragon Stitchery kit. It was called the watering can. It sold for $11 with my earnings being $8.05. Next, I picked this up at a garage sale in, I can't quite remember. Oh, it would have been in July. Yep, in July. It sold the same day. It's this Kavu rope sling bag. It had owl print on it. It sold for $18 with my earnings being $14.40. These are really cool. I love these kind of shoes. They're my favorite. I went to a garage sale and the women that were running the sale actually knew my sister-in-law, and I purchased these for $2 from her. They're a pair of vintage Doc Marten chunky shoes. They sold in less than a week for $85 with my earnings being $68. So that was a really nice sale. I love finding the vintage Doc Martens. Next is Chico's floral embroidered top. I got this at Goodwill a year and a half ago off the $1.99 rack. It sold for $15 with my earnings being $12. Next is this Torrid animal print sleeveless top. I listed this back in 2023. Somebody sent me an offer for $7 and I gladly accepted it to get it gone. My earnings were $4.05. Next is a vintage Fisher-Price Loving Family dollhouse washer and dryer. I had bought a big lot of the Fisher-Price Loving Family dollhouse things. I have less than $1 into this piece. It sold for $10 with my earnings being $7.05. Next is another bundle. White House Black Market sleeveless top that I paid $1 for. And then this Camano, Caamano, 100% alpaca sweater. I thought it was just really cool. I picked that up at a garage sale for $1. Somebody sent me an offer for these two items of $55, and I gladly accepted that with my earnings being $44. Next is a pair of Crocs that I picked up and never put into a haul. They sold in less than a week. They were the Smiley World sandals, and they had a few little condition issues, like some of the print was peeling off on the footbed. You'd never see it when you're wearing them. But I paid $3 for them, and they sold for $23 with my earnings being $18.40. Next, I was doing some garage selling with my honey bunny, and I picked up this National Audubon Society bird chirping clock. I've sold this before, and it will sell if I find another one. I always pick them up. I picked this one up in May for $5, and it sold for $35 with my earnings being $28. Next is another item you might recognize from a haul. This was a vintage Sisters by Longenberger suede mini shoulder bag. It sold in less than a week for $20 with my earnings being $16, and I paid $4 for that one. This I picked up at the Goodwill Outlet bins when I took a trip in February, I believe it was, with my daughter. It was new in the box. But it was this Lenox wedding 8x10 picture frame. And at my bins, glass prices are separate. I can't remember how much it is per pound for the glass, but I know that I paid around $3 for this. It sold for $57 with my earnings being $45.60. Next is another pair of Crocs. These were listed the end of June. They're the men's light ride clogs. I paid $2 for them. They sold for $29 with my earnings being $23.20. This guy here is from Toys R Us. He was the floppy polar bear, and I can't remember where I got him or how much I paid for him, but I don't pay usually more than $4 for a plush, so, but he sold for $22 with my earnings being $17.60. These here I just picked up and didn't get them into a haul. They were a set of 4 Jim Davis Garfield glass mug set from 1979. I paid $5 for the 4 of them. Somebody sent me an offer for $20, which I accepted with my earnings being $16. These here are another thing. I don't remember where I got them. I purchased them thinking I would put them in a lot because they were all the same size and brand. They were just 3 pairs of men's starter shorts, and they were reversible. But I listed them in January of 25. They sold for $21 with my earnings being $16.80. I sold my first California Raisins item. It was the coffee mug. I think I paid $10 or $15 for a box of all the California Raisin stuff. So I got minimal amount into this mug. It sold for $10 with my earnings being $7.05. And my very last sale and the best sale of my 2-year selling career, which for a lot of people, they'll be like, ain't no big deal. But for me, it is. Being where I'm from, I don't find the gems all the time. This one I knew was a gem when I found it. But it is my 1990s American Girl Kirsten doll in all the clothing and accessory lot. I paid $25 for a bin of all kinds of American Girl doll accessories, clothes, books, you name it, plus the doll. And also a nice big lot of not American Girl or Pleasant Company clothing that I listed separately. I paid $25 for it, and I listed her and a bunch of accessories and clothing for $300. A very lovely lady offered me $250, which I accepted, making my earnings $200 on this doll. So that was exciting. I can't wait for my next big sale to top that $250 sale. I can't wait to find another gem because that's fun. So, but I just want to thank everybody for clicking on today's video of mine. I appreciate it. If you don't mind giving me a thumbs up on the way out, and if you're not subscribed and you like these kind of videos or thrifting hauls or mystery boxes, come on back because I got some coming. Everybody have a great day. Bye. Catch you on the flip side.